You're still watching Ways. On August 30th each year, organizations such as the UN and Amnesty International play an active role in raising awareness that enforced disappearance is a crime and should not be used as a tool to deal with situations of conflict. Many activists openly share personal stories via the media or public events about victims of enforced disappearances and the impact that these disappearances have had on their families and communities. Enforced disappearance is used as a strategy to spread terror within the society. It occurs when people are arrested, detained, or abducted against their will, and when governments refuse to disclose the whereabouts of these people. So enforced disappearance is a global problem and is not restricted to a specific region of the world. I mean, this happens all the time. I remember when I was having some issues with someone and the person says, I'll make you disappear. I say, now wow. You know, and I've seen it happen. I mean, Lai Mohammed, I think the young man that did a video, that he was insulting him with that video. At some point, he went missing. This enforced disappearance happens a lot, you know, and it's so interesting that, you know, people always think that this thing is a Nigerian thing. It's not. Globally around the world, yes, once they feel like you might be a threat to national security or whatever, they just make you disappear. You'll be in one place that nobody knows. But hey, that's
carry you go where you know.
You'll carry you where you don't know. All right, let's quickly run through our stories. Let me start with you, Sansi, then we'll just walk back.
Okay, so my story is well, it's caused a couple arguments online, and it's about this girl. I mean, I'll throw it to the ladies, and then you can, you know, pick your part. So this lady, she's from Imo State. She, according to her, she accidentally got pregnant. And so she left her parents' house in Imo State to go live with her friend in Lagos. And then sadly, the house she was staying in got demolished, and so she had to relocate to Abuja. And now on getting to Abuja, she goes to a woman asking for help, that she wants to sell her baby. She doesn't want to have the baby. And so the woman refers her to National Hospital in Abuja. She goes to the hospital and tells them, I want to sell my baby. And they call the police gets her arrested. So now the question is, people are asking, why do you have to arrest her? Simply tell her, we do not buy babies here or something.
Okay.
It's a crime.
First of all, you don't accidentally fall under the man's
I accidentally fell.
Accidentally fall. There are things like postinol.
Well, here is the other option.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Well, I'm not coming, but because that's what
you're going somewhere.
You know, and then you fall, you have a baby. Both occasions or both instances, the not knowing morning after pill and thinking she can sell her baby, I think is all based on illiteracy. She just needed to be advised, enlightened, and probably take the baby to a motherless baby's home. But I think she was speaking out of ignorance.
Well, most people are saying that at least it's better she sells the baby than having an abortion.
No. So let me explain something to you. It's a crime to sell the baby, right? It's a crime for you to go to the hospital and say you want to sell the baby. There's nowhere. I would have also called the police on her because it's wrong. And the reason they're arresting her is that if she leaves that hospital, they refuse to buy the baby from her. She will try somewhere and she would succeed. Right? She will succeed. There are so many people. Why do we have baby factories? Why do we have all those illegal places where they forcefully get these young girls pregnant to have babies and then sell the babies out? It's because it's a booming business in Nigeria where these people actually have. Yes,
that's true.
Well, well, let me speak for Nigeria. So the thing is, with her, it's good that they arrested her. But I just want to say that when I hear people saying I accidentally got pregnant, I keep wondering, come on.
Maybe let me speak for let me be the accidental.
I was Jean Provocateur.
So I mean, I wasn't going to say anything about this story because I feel like it's a whole show conversation.
Yeah,
there's a lot of layered problem
around it.
Abortion to be educated, like you mentioned, but accidentally, if I want to explain it to people, you know, maybe when you are already taking what's it called?
Postinol.
Not just postinol, like you're on a plan by the doctor, right? And they always tell you it's not 100%, right? So if you get pregnant at that point, it can be accidental. Okay. I'm just explaining for the lady. So can I take my story now?
Yes, please.
Thank you. That's the minimum, but her own is not accidental. Clearly.
Her own is stupidity.
So
hey, don't judge.
Ignorance.
Well, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so 6 months after commencement, ASUU declares strike indefinite against its usual practice of extending its ongoing industrial action by a specific number of weeks or months. The Academic Staff Union of Universities on Monday said the strike would now be indefinite. The union said the government has not satisfactorily met any of its demands that prompted the commencement of the initial strike on the 14th of February. I think that's enough for me to take from that story.
Abacha's money should be used for it.
It's really sad. Like today, I was thinking, when I saw the story, I was thinking about myself and having my life paused for weeks and months, not knowing what way to go forward or backward or what's going to happen with you, and your life is just going, and it just speaks to how you realize that we're in a country where they don't understand basic human development, they don't understand the value of human life, right? Of value of time as well, because I have a friend who would always translate life to meaning time. Like if you can waste a person's time, then you can really waste a person's life. Absolutely. So it's just really sad, and I'm really hoping, I know that ASUU is pointing fingers to the government, the government's pointing fingers to ASUU, and to a large extent, yes, I know ASUU might have a bit of right to demand for what they are demanding, but at this point, we need solutions. We really do need solutions, and it's sad.
It's sad because my younger sister is actually affected by that. She's been at home for like 6 months, and she's just a step away from getting into her final exam, her 4th year exam, then to enter her final year, and then this happens. So you can't coupled with the COVID delay in academics. It's just. She's so sad.
I think they don't know it has an effect on mental health.
Not just, even on the economy.
Yeah, I know, but for the students, I'm just saying, from that angle, you just wake up with no plans, and it seems your life is wasted because you really can't make plans because you never know when they might just call you back, which has always been the case. Right. My story.
Go ahead, please.
Katsina State Deputy Governor Alhaji Mana Yakubu says the federal government has released 6.25 billion for the establishment of cattle ranches in local government areas affected by banditry in the state. He said, I'm jumping on, you can get it on the news. He said that the frontline local government areas where grazing reserves would be established were Jibia, Batsari, Dutsinma, Safana, Dansuma, Kankara, Faskari, Sabua. I feel like I'm speaking in tongues.
Why not correct
among others. Who will know these places? I think what they're trying to do is curb the excessive migration of these cattle ranchers all over the world, because I've seen them in Ilori, I've seen them in Ondo State, I've seen them in Ekiti. So maybe if they created ranches for them, they can keep them off the roads, and also maybe be able to control and identify who are the real unknown men and who are cattle ranchers.
So I just have a question.
Is this
6.3? Thank you. So it's 6.3 billion investment in this cattle ranch business. Is it priority?
It's not even just priority. My question is it an investment, or you're just giving them this money to settle?
I think they're coming from it from the angle of we're trying to give a solution, but it's not priority on the list of things.
That the federal government,
I agree that it is not priority. Yes, but however, this ranching issues has caused a lot of problems.
Nobody is arguing.
Well, me coming from the east, I know like herdsmen and all that. A lot of people have really negative views about this thing. So I feel that establishing a ranch is a better way to stop all these cows.
So Sandy, I hear you 100%. The only thing I'm asking is, so for us, cattle ranching or whatever it is, it's a business. Will the federal government give me 6.3 billion to stop poachers from my farm or people that go to steal? Do you get my point?
Yeah.
If they are saying, okay, this is funds that are taken to these companies and this is how they expect to generate revenue from this 6.3 billion, then I want to hear that conversation. But 6.3 billion, that's not priority for federal government.
But
we have students that are not in school.
Listen, this is Nigeria. Procurement or head of procurement or whoever that is going to definitely, most likely, might take half of that money. I'm just saying, because a lot of things happens up there. Exactly. They strike deals and all whatnot. So which is bad. I'm not in support of it, but I'm just saying that establishing ranches is a welcome.
Okay, so I'm reading an extended part of the story now, and it says, in part, he said part of the funds would be used to construct schools, health centers and veterinary clinics in the affected communities.
Audio.
Yeah, the deputy governor noted that the state government would engage reputable contractors to handle the project. So it's not just for the ranches anyway. I mean, it might be audio. We know what Nigeria is, but at the end of the day, I just feel like when we are like talking about it, better we get
have
the right
a
angle
full picture.
and full picture of what's.
So I'm just saying, whatever it is that they're doing, if they're investing 6.3 billion, they should factor in that it is business.
And how much is ASUU asking for again? That's about 20 billion. So, well, whatever ASUU is asking for, I'm even saying that you need returns. So you can't just throw away 6.3 billion. How is this money going to come? What's the ROI on this money?
What makes them priority than the ones that you
All right, so my story is just to mention, I don't know, there have been a lot of building collapse. You know, there was one in Abuja. I just saw a recent one in Kano State. A building collapsed in Kano State. I just wanted to mention that whatever it is that we're doing, please, contractors, because this building was under construction, so contractors should please, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to just, yes, it might eat a bit into your profit, but when I see building collapse cases like this, because my father built, I have also been privileged to build, right? So I understand that when you compromise on building materials, the right quality, the right quantity, and all of that is a direct impact on things like this.
Yes.
I mean, and we get this a lot. So just yesterday, I saw a picture in Abuja, a building collapse, now again today in Kano State. So please.
Last year, or I think it was last year, the one that happened in
Ikoyi. So
and even little
everywhere.
things as little as POP
Yes.
collapsing in people's houses.
I mean, my friend's house that she moved into Lekki, she said the God that saved her was that there was nobody, because I think her daughter had just left the living room. They just started hearing cracking noise. The next day, the entire POP came crashing down.
I feel that part of the reason is because real estate is a booming business right now. So everybody is in a hurry to build and sell, and then we don't do like quality check.
Are overpriced as it is.
Well,
so why even?
So I have a friend of mine that is currently supervising a project, right? Part of the issues that they are facing is that the contractors are coming back to them to say, please, they have to review prices. And part of why they have to sit down to listen to the contractor is saying that, see, what people are doing, if you're not able to increase your prices, what they will do is they will just go and buy cheaper materials to be able to use the product. He doesn't want to compromise because he's trying to build a project that will outlive generations to come. So you get my point. It's tough because on one hand, economically, you do not have. Imagine if you had budgeted 200 naira to build, and they don't come and tell you that no, this 200 naira cannot work.
That's still not an excuse to compromise on standards.
No,
that's for someone who has integrity, though.
So it's two things.
Okay.
I'm saying that you, even as the owner of the building, you should be able to open your mind to say, in case your contractors come back to you to say that they need to increase.
Set aside an amount for.
Thank you.
Yeah, because that's what budgeting and costing is.
No, because you're already Elsie, you had already given this. They told you from the onset that 50 million will build this property.
Within 2 weeks.
So within 2 weeks, they come back to tell you that Elsie is no longer 50 million, it's 55 million. You would argue. You are the owner of if your pocket is coming.
I get what you're saying, but even when you say 50 million will build a property, you don't just mention 50 million they give you. There's always a breakdown of the project and everything based on price.
To be fair,
so if you're having that conversation again,
to be fair to these people, it's like when you go to the market and you bargain, like, how do I get the best for less, right? And so let's say the price has gone up from 50 million to maybe dollar went from 500 to 650 or something. It would definitely affect you. And most likely when they're building, they would say, okay, so if you're going to use 5 cements ideally for this, if we use 4 cements, can it work? And ideally the contractor would maybe say, yes, it can work, and this and this and that, right? And so they opt for that. But little would they know that sometimes it's not just them. Sometimes it's the way the people manage the house. Other times it could be them. So I don't think they share the blame 100%. The economy also gets the economy also gets.
I think we're just making excuses.
I don't think
them points us to federal government.
What is saying is they've told you that your house building the property is going to cost you 20 million. We see how prices fluctuate all the time. Within a matter of 3 days, 4 days, it could go up by 400,000 naira.
Yes. So what I'm saying is
you
keep an open mind.
You don't compromise on what it takes to get in business.
Okay,
All the surveyors
let's just go
really
into
don't
our
do the
topic.
jobs. Okay,
because
we're spending so much time on this.
Yeah, and you probably don't understand where I'm coming from. So I'm just saying, I mean, if you go to someone now to say they tell you build XYZ, right? And you tell them it's 20 million. That is not how the transaction goes, except you're telling me you're not working with people that document things. You will tell them the number, do you understand? You tell them the number of cement and XYZ. There's a lot of
so that's what I'm saying to you, that if they've given you 50 bags of cement, and that 50 bags of cement was going to cost 50,000,
they're giving you in terms of money now,
in terms of quantity.
In money.
No,
So
you are money. Did they give you money?
Yes, now they're giving you money. Not
so that's what I'm saying. Going back to the table to have that conversation is not the problem, because there is already a list in the market. So you can have the conversation. The compromise comes from both sides. It's not just the contractor or the building person. Mind,
because me, I'm a contractor. If I come back to you and say cement has gone up, please give us the money
for the cement.
Or the building will pause for now.
That's it. On that note, let's take a break. When we come back, we want to discuss brain drain. Today we have discussed everything.
The brain is already drained.